All right, y'all, take off your shirts, get your nipple clips, pull down your pants because you're about to get an edging.
Turn on some Law and Order SVU a la Captain Sandy, staring at Mariska, Cheeto fingers.
Cheeto.
Like
Now
Kalani.
you say, because of Kalani, when we say Cheeto fingers, now it's a whole different
It's a thing. This is Love is Blind Season 2.
2.
Otherwise known as the influencer season. But it was messy as fuck.
Ironically, we're edging you because we're preparing you for season 4 of Love is Blind. That's dropping on Netflix on what day? March
24th.
March 24th. Our episodes will drop the day after.
It's your own personal trash advent calendar.
Yes.
Yes.
And this, we didn't like this season of Love is Blind of season 2. However,
we had fun talking about it.
We talk about it probably more than any other season now.
I agree with you. A lot of them winded up on that show, Perfect Match.
But don't spoil it for people because they want to know what if they haven't watched Love is Blind and they don't know.
Okay, look, Perfect Match is everywhere.
Well, I'm just saying.
They need to fucking come out of their caves.
Maybe they don't know about Shane and Natalie, and they don't know, and they're wanting to.
Oh, and you may not, about young Gary Busey. Who's looking for werewolves?
Y'all, it's a weird season. We go rogue, but we hope that you enjoy
Very
it.
rogue.
Very rogue. We will tell you this. Season 4 of Love is Blind is, I think, we've done 4 episodes. It's the best season of Love is Blind we've had so far.
I kind of agree with you.
It's really good. So, and
especially, who thought that Cocaine Bear was going to join the cast? Sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Netflix won't get us for that. I will say the After the Altar, which we cover that too, but the After the Altar of season 2 was the best After the Altar.
Because it was super, super messy.
Super messy. So, y'all, enjoy the ride. We had a ball covering it. This was previously just on a Reality Gaze Plus, but now it's for all of you on this free feed. Enjoy our season 2 of Love is what, Poodle?
Blind.
All right, 90 Day. Okay, Love is Blind, take 1.
Love is blind. Love is blind. Love is blind. It's 90 Day Gaze presenting Love is Blind.
Together again. Aren't you glad, Poodle? We're just having this whole weekend together, just talking about Love is Blind over and over and over. Aren't you happy? Admit it. You don't love me, but you love this show.
I could be doing this with John Krasinski. With his big dick face, because y'all know he got one.
Y'all, he got a big dick.
That's a big dick face. Emily Blunt is lucky.
Emily Blunt needs some Mary Poppers for that one.
Sausage.
Yes, exactly. Boy, didn't think you were going to take it there. Y'all, this is Love is Blind, episode 4, called Meet the Other Couples.
Terrible title. Meet the Other Couples.
Meet the Other Couples.
Even like meet every, or even like, I don't know, meet
even if
the other couples.
Even if they call it meet and greet, like that's even dumb. But it's better than Meet the Other Couples.
I don't think they spend a lot of time on naming their episodes.
What's episode? Because we're going to do episode 5. That one's called Leaving Paradise. That's a little better. No panache. No panache in this. Just
no glamour. No glamour. No mystique. No mystique. If you know, y'all, I've said it before, but if you haven't checked out Punchy Players, Judy Garland and Ann Miller at the grocery store, it's such a great video.
Such a niche reference.
It's so good, though.
But it is so good. Hey, y'all.
We're in a hurry.
We're in a hurry. If you're listening, that means that you've been a member or you jumped up to our Patreon and Supercast to our Reality Gaze
Thank you, new people, and we love you, old people.
Yes, thank you so much. We this show, I feel like there's I hate that it was 2 years before we got Love Is Blind, but at the same time, there's just a wonderful nostalgia watching it again. It's like a part of it never left. It's just so familiar. It kind of y'all forget Love Is Blind. Didn't Love Is Blind? Did it happen before the pandemic?
No, happened
Are you sure?
right. Yes.
Because it was February 14th, but then the pandemic happened in March, is when everything shut down.
No,
You came back. You came back from China, and we did Love Is Blind, right?
It became a pandemic show, though. That's what I'm saying.
It did. It just we watched it, but I don't. It's not associated with any of that for me. So anyway, I'm just having a great time watching it. It's a good show.
It's good. I think this season is a lot juicier.
Yes.
I can honestly say this. There's no Lauren and Cameron for me this season.
There's not. There's not. What for people that didn't watch second season? What do you? I think I know, but what do you mean by Lauren and Cameron? There's not a that. What do you mean?
There's not a couple that you need to protect at all costs that kind of fit one another, and they're perfect for one another.
Yeah, that are just so wonderful together, and you love them together so much.
Right, you want to watch them together. There's not one of those this season.
There is not one of those this season.
You thought it might be Nick and Danielle for a little bit. Danielle's showing me way too many red flags.
Danielle showed her cards, y'all.
Yikes! Now, I still think there's a lot of good about their relationship, but holy fuck, she's got some trauma.
She has a lot of trauma. And
so it's going to be interesting to watch that.
So can we just, who do you want? We're going to do the same thing we've done before on these. We're going to, instead of talking about how it was in order, we're going to talk about kind of the grouping and pairings. Right. We feel like that's easier.
Before we do, I don't know, maybe we can do this every episode. We can do it as the couples go. Let's just talk about it as the couples go. Mm-hmm. Do you see as anybody right now is getting there to the altar, or who's your safe bet? Who's your safe bet?
I do think the safe bet is still Danielle and Nick. I think.
Me too.
I agree.
That's my safe bet.
Yeah, that's
my anybody else.
Maybe Kyle and Shane. Oh wait, she left.
I was unclear about what happened there. She literally walked. I didn't know from the last episode. She walked her fucking suitcases and she left the resort.
I only knew because I watched the 3 episodes and I had to watch episode 4 and find out. So,
boy, you yelled at me about that.
Well, because
I don't dare you. Boy, I'm glad
Yeah, but I don't say anything on the show. I don't say, I know what happened. I watched it. I didn't say that.
Well, anyway.
You can't help it. It was unclear that episode, but y'all, if you didn't watch it and if you're not watching the shows, we were kind of like, we said, she walks down the hallway, but she's wearing her bathrobe in episode 3.
Yeah, that was what was unclear.
Y'all, she left. And let's just talk about Kyle right now, because she leaves and then they don't even start the episode with Kyle's reaction. They kind of have some other like introductory stuff. And then Kyle just says, yeah,
she wasn't really about me after the proposal.
He said, I'm here in paradise and I wish she was here for me to change her mind. But I thought this is actually my first time I went, okay, show. This was a miss. This was a miss that we didn't see his reaction to you telling him. This is a miss. Something happened because we should see that he left, because to me, Kyle said, I guess I need better communication from her because she's a horrible communicator.
I don't think he got it. I think she just left.
No. He says, but I'll grow on her. And I wrote, what the fuck is left? So, and that's my question to you, Jake. If someone left in the middle of the honey, they fucking left, y'all. She fucking ghosted him in Mexico and didn't even tell him. She left. Would you go out with that person again or see them ever again?
Absolutely not. But
Nor would I.
He's a puppy dog.
He really is a lovesick puppy dog, y'all. As we said before, she's gonna
She's
destroy him.
she's awful, y'all. Someone online said, "I think Shayna alone is Jessica's redemption."
Yeah,
Because
yes,
now we
yes,
actually see what a villain is like.
yes. I agree. She's
Yeah.
horrible, horrible,
Ugh.
y'all. And just because we're doing 2 episodes tonight, and just wait till you see how she behaves in episode 5. Whoa,
Ugh.
ooh. And I think is that it for Kyle? He doesn't really have much going on
Well,
until
he says Shayna will be madly in love with me by the end and be ready to get married. Poor dumb Kyle.
Poor dumb
I just want
Kyle.
to slap you around or maybe slap your dick around a little.
I want to do all of that. I want to do all of that.
I want to see him shirtless.
I do too. I'm sure it's shirtless on his Instagram. I'm sure.
Let's start. Do you have any that just I want to kind of be on the record. Do you have any that you're like, this is DOA even though they're thinking it's going to work? Do you have any that you're thinking there's no way these two people will get married?
Yeah, Mallory and Sal. No way.
I think that my biggest DOA is Jared and Iana.
I don't know. I think the jury's still out on that one. We'll talk about it when we talk about them, but the jury's still out. I actually think in a weird way, I could see her backing out more than him.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. I don't think she'll handle the honeymoon's over phase of this well.
I don't
because
think
she'll
so
start
either.
to think about things like she was the second one proposed to.
But the thing is why I put Mallory and Sal before is y'all out of everybody, even more than Shayna.
No,
and
I totally agree with
Kyle,
you. I think they're
Mallory
DOA.
and Sal, they have no chemistry together. She has no chemistry for him.
I think I think she's finding a little bit, but it's not a lot. But I think they have more than Deep Tea and Shake.
Well, and boy, talk about that was a turn too.
You could see it happening though with him.
You could, but you said last episode, and it's true. You were like, when he saw her,
I loved it.
You said he loves her so much, and I wrote the same thing, and I thought so too. And then this episode, I was like,
you saw it because him coming back to reality. You could,
and I hadn't seen that part yet when we talked about that, so I just watched the Kyle part because I wanted to know what happened. But I said, like I worried about when he got back into the world how he would be, and y'all, we don't want to be right.
Yeah.
And I love Deep Tea.
But
anyway,
it's interesting about Mallory and Sal because I think Sal's the best guy on the show.
Yes, 100%.
And
100%.
I think he would be the one she would have a chance making it with. I don't think anybody else would. I think Jarrett would have been like a boy she had dated before.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he would really, because she's looking for something else, you guys. I still say she's the most interesting person on the show for me, because she holds a lot in, and I want to talk a lot about the conversation that Jared and Mallory have at the couples meeting.
And I will say what I do like about the casting this season. It's really hard for me to pick a most interesting person because I think a lot of them are very complex, and even the quote unquote dumb ones like stupid Shane, the way he and Natalie are interacting,
I find them very interesting,
and the way Natalie has completely shifted. It's so fascinating to see that. Anyway,
I want so much much more for Iana. I think she's so interesting, and I think she has so much to give, and I don't think Jarrett's ever going to be able to give her that.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. And oddly enough, is it weird that I kind of Well, we'll talk about it, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting sympathy for Shane.
Me too. I have it, and I hated him.
I kind of want more for Shane
I
because
hated him.
Natalie treats him horribly.
It's not. Let me clarify. It's not that. They're just shitty at their own communication. He's not good at asking what he needs.
He's not.
She's trying to give him how she's treated other boyfriends, which she's trying to avoid vulnerability for herself by joking about it and being kind of mean. And that's what the guys she's dated before have been closed off and withholding. So it's okay to do that. And now that she's dating someone who's not that at all, she doesn't know how to
Yeah.
deal with it.
Like, it's
So
weird. It's weird. Shane was such a kind of douche, but now that they're out in the world, Shane's kind of like, I'm trying to be all into this, all in
Yeah.
for this. It's really weird. Anyway,
I don't
we're
know
going
how
off in a-
Natalie doesn't know how to be in a relationship with someone like that.
No.
And so let's talk about Sal and Mallory, or Salary, or Malvador,
Malvador.
which I think is weird. So you can tell, y'all, she is so uncomfortable with him.
Yes.
And she says, I'm in my head, blah, blah, blah. I'm extremely attracted to him. But she pushes off by she's like, I'm just really awkward in person, blah, blah, blah. And she keeps saying it has nothing to do with you, because, like, the worst thing, you guys, Mallory is so interested in making everyone else comfortable, and making sure she's not trying to skeeze anyone out. And Salvador says, I didn't take it in perspective what you'd be thinking, and I just want you to know this is a very safe space. You can tell me anything. And I think this is freaking Mallory out, because she's never been with a man who's this understanding before.
No. And y'all, and no, not at all. And
She's been with sports douchebags.
And I wrote, I'm like, she's trying to keep it calm, but I wrote, when she sees Jarrett, she's just going to be pissed off again. Like, at her whole situation. I think it's going to really trigger her.
Right.
And we'll talk about that. But she also, too, it's, again, y'all, it's just, she kind of Mallory looks at Sal to me as like the way you look at a sad puppy who's like an ugly dog.
Yeah.
Like, which is so weird because Sal is gorgeous. But she just looks at him kind of with this.
You know what it is? She's looking at him. It's weird because she does not want this, but part of her thinks she does. She wants the machismo kind of strong, quote unquote, not weak guy.
Yeah.
That's what she's always chased. That's what she's always been in relationships with. She wants an extreme alpha guy.
Mhm.
Sal is not that. He's very soft-spoken, and he's hitting all of these sweet moments for her, but everything that she needs to kind of have her senses be flooded, he's just not giving her. And it's like almost like Deep Tea and Shake. Can you find a way that's not your normal attractiveness? Can you find a way to have a relationship?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening because you said flooded, and then that took me someplace.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I think you were talking. But yes.
But
yes.
they say this is the next day. So everyone's had like their first night together, you guys.
Yeah.
And Mallory and Sal, she's like, last night was a lot of fun. And he said, he's showed me some things. And she's like, I might want to stop at the pharmacy later. So y'all, I think they fucked.
I think fucking is easier for her.
It is. Yeah.
It's way easier for her to fucking as it is for Natalie.
It's easier for me. I gotta tell you that.
But you notice, y'all, Natalie and Shane have a good sex life, are being able. It's easier. It's these intimate, really authentic moments that Sal brings that freak her the fuck out.
And I think he really scares her. And what's interesting is the next morning, she seems to be, after they've had physical intimacy, after they've had sex, she seems, okay, this is familiar. This I understand. This puts me out of my head. Yeah. And you see her almost in a better place. And that's basically everything. Then we're going to talk about the couples meeting, the big luau, or the big thing. But let's go back and talk about Nick and Danielle. I can't help but do that.
Yes.
What do you? Okay. There's something about him, and I don't know what it is, but
I'm the luckiest guy in the world, and it's a big world, but I'm the luckiest.
it's the thing is, usually with guys like this, I'm like, you're a fucking tool. You're a fucking golden retriever. I think this is him.
Yeah, I
I
do.
I think he honestly is this kind of guy. Um
Yes.
to me, y'all, this is my nightmare to have a nice guy like this who is just like I don't know. I would have left. I would have left in the middle of the night if I was Danielle. But yeah, but
You,
that's me.
no, that's
Yeah,
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't know for Danielle. I I think probably if you talk to Danielle about her history, she's dated a lot of guys who treat her like crap because that's what she tells herself how she needs to be treated.
yeah.
Because
Bad
y'all
guys.
remember she says stuff, I don't deserve this, and we'll see. Y'all, she's gonna sabotage things in this
Oh
relationship.
yeah, she's just counting the minutes where she can
Yeah.
sabotage it. Yeah.
Yes, she is,
So
very much so.
Danielle says she does say it normally takes me months to have physical connection, but not with Nick. This felt really good, and I must say it was hot when he picked her up and threw her on the bed.
It was, it was, it was. It was
Um,
hot.
so the next time we see them, you
The
guys,
next morning, y'all, she's sick. She got sick in Mexico. So someone drank the water. So she's but she said Nick was so awesome last night and he did the physical work and like of taking care of me. Nick said, I didn't mind. I
yeah.
love her. And Danielle says the fact that he's patient and not upset that I'm ruining a day on our vacation means the world to me.
And they did have sex, as he says, twice. So they have a physical thing. I really think I may regret this. I think they're going to make it. I do not know how long lasting it will be, but I think Danielle realizes. I think it's going to come on the strength of Danielle wanting to do well for herself, and Nick is absolutely gaga for her.
I think
And
Danielle could possibly settle once she decides to get married. I think she could possibly settle in and then they have kids. Then I think she'll feel like, okay, more
okay,
secure, like he's not going to leave me. He's not going to
but yeah, y'all,
possibly.
Danielle is a walking abandonment issue.
Not that those things make it easier, but sometimes people feel like when they hit those benchmarks
Yeah,
that they can trust a little bit more.
but Jesus, I cringe every time he says something to her and she goes, "Well, where were you?"
Yeah.
And it's like it's every and all of us
It's
have
good.
had
I
these
think
moments with relationships, but
it's going to be really hard in the real world because he's going to go to work. He's going to have work appointments. He's going to have things in life that are happening, and
Ooh.
she's not going to be able to monitor where he is. Because already, y'all, this is kind of a little bit of what happens in episode 5, but she gets upset when he goes somewhere else on the fucking island, and she literally can see where he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's
I think that's the end of this episode, isn't it?
for them, or is it at the end?
No, maybe it's not.
I think it's at 5. So yeah. Um, Yes, it is. It's the beginning of maybe.
You're
But
right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
that's episode 5. I think that's it for them, right? For this
Yeah.
before the meet
Yeah.
and greet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about Jarrett and
Jared and
Iana.
Iana. Yeah. Let's talk
So
about them.
she's like, "Oh, this height difference, you
So
guys."
tall.
It's interesting. You can just see the red alert in her eyes. She is so afraid she's going to fuck this up. They've cast these people in like to all the archetypes
Yeah.
of and Iana's afraid that she's not going to be able to trust someone. So, but she's mostly living in fear, but it's a very different kind of fear than Danielle.
Mhm.
And she's talking about he got her a Polaroid, and also what Ayana is worried about that she's not going to measure up and she's not going to make him happy. So she has to be effusive with everything. And you're almost like, quit working so hard, honey. He's into you.
I think she's still working on. Yeah, I think there's that because she's really more of an introvert. She says.
Oh yeah, you can
But
tell.
with him, she's very like she freaks out over this camera. She also mentions that she's fine with like cuddling and being physical, but she wants to wait until they're married before they actually have sex.
If she can make it.
She said, but I feel very comfortable with him. And Jarrett is fine with that. Like he
Right.
gives her a massage later. He's rubbing her, and he said there's a lot of ways you can be intimate without having sex. And
Not familiar. Not familiar.
Yeah, not familiar.
He got naked. Like he took his clothes off and gave her a massage, or she gave him a massage.
I saw it all, and it looks good.
Oh, it's big. You can tell.
Oh, it's a big dig. It's a big dig.
And is that he's got a scar? But those are keloids. Those are, I think, right? Do you ever seen
Yeah.
keloids?
Yes, a lot. It's very common in the Black community. It's just with the Black melanated skin. So, like, my partner has some of it. Sometimes if it can come from a little scar, or like women will have their ears pierced, basically, or sometimes people get tattoos. Basically, anytime it can be really painful because you can have internal keloids, and it can cause. It's basically your skin's just repairing and repairing and repairing.
No, I dated someone who had them, so I'm familiar. Yeah. I just didn't know they went on a scar that much.
They could, they could like really develop. Yeah, that can be hard to get rid of.
But they and his you saw his butt, and he was naked in the shower, y'all. So she's seen his penis.
She's seen his pain, y'all. She's seen his pain. But again, I think it's actually fine that they're waiting until they have sex, but is she waiting because she wants it to be special, or because she's scared to do it?
Yeah, I think if she has sex, I think her intuition, if it was me, if I was her, number one, this is the honeymoon time. She is shoving that thought of being second to be asked every time he leaves the room.
Also, you would have fucked him in the pod.
Yeah, found a way.
You would have found a way to open that door.
Yep.
Yeah.
But wow, I just don't. Someone who is like Iyanna's really going to have to do a magic trick on her brain to marry him. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think this one's DOA.
It's gonna be a lot. It's fast. I wouldn't have said yes, but she did. You remember, y'all, because I don't think we can feel sorry for Iyanna, because she agreed to this. She said yes.
I know. I do, because I think she was already into him, and the problem was it wasn't her inaction. It was completely his feelings towards someone else. Mm-hmm. And you're right that she chose it, but fuck. It's not a situation anyone wants to be in. Now, if I was Iyanna, I'm sure she is trying to be the cool girl. I would say, you're not talking to Mallory. That's what I would say. And I would say, it would make me feel better if you did not talk to Mallory. Because that's what I would have said right before the dinner.
It's weird. It's weird to me that they both aren't talking about it.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah. But seriously, think about it. Would that not have been your first thing, saying, out of respect for me, I know you asked her to marry you first. Can you maybe keep it really casual and not spend a lot of time talking to Mallory?
Or if you do talk to her, you and I should be together.
Yes. And we're going to talk about their meeting, which I had all kinds of problems with. So let's talk about
the couple that, oh man,
Deep Tea and
really,
Shake. I know. This really, because he's such like Tom from Parks and Rec for me. The Aziz Ansari character, who is always like, he's into music and he's always like looking for the hottest girl, and he's always talking about the new thing, and she is so happy, y'all. She has no idea of what he's thinking.
I wrote the first thing I wrote for them in this episode was, I cannot believe I love this couple so much. I wrote that in all caps, and boy, my bubble was busted. And she's saying, I'm so excited for us to connect. We have all this time. I want to take it one night at a time. And that's when Shake said, Shake says, I want to take it one night at a time. He said, I'm apprehensive because y'all, they're in this pool and they're talking, and you see his face kind of turn.
Yep, that's when I
Like
went,
she's hugging him, and you see him just kind of almost looking at the camera like help. And he says, I said all these things to her, like, we're gonna get married, we're gonna have babies. He said, and now I'm a little bit in my head, and y'all,
not a little bit. He's like, he actually says, he the next day he says, we kept it PG last night. It was and I don't feel that animalistic attraction. He said even later, I felt I was in bed with my auntie. This is bad for him, y'all.
Because he says personality wise, this is a 10 out of 10. But yeah, it's just that animalistic attraction.
And y'all, this is someone who doesn't really do emotional intimacy.
No.
He doesn't see intimacy as tied to emotions. And it is purely physical.
And I think it's interesting in that, they both said on the last episode, I think he said that they both kind of denied their own culture and were running away from, he said, maybe I'm running away from our culture. So I think he's got some internalized culture things that he needs to work on.
Yeah.
But that said, it's kind of like Mallory and Sal. Like, Mallory is gorgeous. Sal is the most beautiful guy there, and she's not into him. Deep is gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Like, physically is beautiful, and he's not into her. So that's kind of what I do love about this show, is that you would think, well, yeah, why he would totally be into her, and these people aren't. That's just not what they're attracted to.
Yeah. And the question I have is it possible to change that? Can you Is love blind?
That is, what a good segue. I feel like we should talk about the meet and greet now.
Well, no, we have to talk about Shane and Natalie.
Oh, I forgot about them. Thank you.
No, they're amazing.
They are. I just forgot about them. But yeah, go ahead.
So y'all, they are. Shane is. Let me get the first thing I talk about. Yeah, he's eating in bed, and she's like, "I'm not having it. No one will ever eat in my bed."
I agree. That's fucking gross.
I don't eat in bed either. It's gross.
He watches TV in bed, which is not what she does. But
I think that's okay. But
I think that's okay. I don't. But
y'all, the next thing, I don't either. But the next morning, she's like, they're having these cute things that she set 3 alarms and she's snoozing, and they're having fun together. They have a really playful relationship, and he can play, but anytime things get intimate or get too close to being emotional, she will be mean. She will be not mean. She'll be sarcastic and dismissive.
I think it's mean. I think it's getting mean because he's told her now, just in these last two, he's told her 3 times, I don't like it when you talk to me like that. And she keeps on doing it. And even when he does open up, she basically says, she doesn't say it, but she acts like he's stupid for thinking that and that it's fine.
Their communication is not great. And I think he's legions ahead of her of trying to say what he needs. And she's not.
Natalie's fucked a lot of bad boys.
She has. I see a lot of myself in her.
Yeah, a lot of bad boys.
I see a lot of myself in Natalie and in Mallory. Those are the people I can see myself in.
Yeah, it's I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. But yes, so they're talking about how where do I lost my place?
They enjoyed each other's company, and they fucked, y'all. They
fucked. Which again, that's not a problem for them. The fucking and he said Shane even said we enjoyed each other. He said she even threw me some curveballs, and I was super into it. And so they have a date where they go sailing. He gets super seasick, and he said again,
she took care of him.
Again. Y'all, Shane is kind of flipping me on my head because he's like super bro, super dude. But then he said she was taking care of me when I didn't feel good, and she was really supportive, and I really loved that. And she was asking if I was okay. And they kind of get back on on the land, and they're sitting there kind of talking about it. He's, they're joking. He's saying, no more sailing. And then y'all remember Shane is like, he said, I need validation.
Right.
And he said, I need constant validation. Y'all, I think it's the energy suck. I think it's, like
And-
we said, constant. But at
and
least
what-
he said that's what he needs.
And what he said he needed, but the thing is, he is never the thing. It's not just him saying I need validation. He is constantly validating her by saying, "You're so hot. You're so."
He is.
So
He is.
I
That is
I
so true. He is always talking about how beautiful, how smart.
Yeah.
He's always really. I kind of feel like he's out now that he's out of the pods. He's kind of acting like a great boyfriend.
I can't believe that I like him more because I was so anti Shane.
I was
In the
too.
pods.
He was like the biggest douche. But now that he's out, it's like he told himself, yes, I was interested in Shayna, but I made a commitment. I'm into her. I connect with her because y'all, he actually kind of flipped. He said he's with a girl like Shayna. Sorry, I'm using my hands a lot like skin to skin. I don't know what skin to skin. But he actually said, I have a healthier communication with Natalie. Y'all, that's why he picked Natalie, because she was more into him. And so
he has a lot more emotional intelligence than she does.
That's a good way to put it.
Which is a weird thing to say, thinking about Shane having a lot more emotional intelligence than Natalie, but it's true.
And he even says to her while they're talking, she starts to be mean to him. And he said, you joke a lot. He said, and it gets a little old after a while. And sometimes it feels mean. And I went, good for you for saying that. And she just kind of didn't have a response. She was just like, And
what could have happened is she's like, what did I say that made you feel bad?
Yeah.
But instead, she took it as, why are you feeling that way? She invalidated his feelings. And
she really did.
And it's weird because I really like her. I think she's funny, and I think she gets along well with the rest of the girls, but she's really closed off.
Yes.
And so it's going to be interesting to see. That's it for them. Was there anybody else? I think that's it.
Let's talk about
the meet and greet.
Let us.
So, y'all, Jarrett sees Mallory out of the corner of his eye. She's really not paying him any attention because part of Mallory says it's best not to. Mallory's got a sixth sense. She's probably pretty witchy about things like that. She knows it's not good to engage. She doesn't want to go back to something because Jarrett represents guys she used to date. She even says that. And
I don't know if she has a sixth sense about it. I don't know if she has. I think you might be giving her too much credit as far as her awareness. I think she's more. I feel like she doesn't want to mess with Jarrett because she doesn't want to. I think she feels shame about her choice.
That could be it. Oh, well, you think she? No, you think she thinks you wanted Jarrett?
I think that I think a part of her wishes, I think she realizes for her, she's thinking, I made the wrong choice. What if I made the wrong choice?
Oh, I think she feels shame for rejecting him.
I think she feels stupid, like I should have chose him.
Really?
It's not clear. So we don't know. She hasn't said yet. She hasn't verbalized what she's feeling in this moment. We just see her interacting. But I do think she could be a little bit like, damn, I told myself I was going to like the right guy. I was going to be into the right guy, and I am not into him at all. And I look at Jarrett, and he's gorgeous, and he's telling me the things I want to say. He knows what ring I want. And she is a little bit like, fuck.
So you're saying, but why didn't she go up to him and talk to him, though?
Because remember, we said Mallory and Jarrett are both competitive. We talked about Shane is this way too, but Mallory's a sports girl. So I think it's that shame of like, I lost or I didn't play the game right.
But I don't think she's that. I think she's still in trying to make her relationship work.
I don't think it's like a Shayna villain. Like, I think it's just more of some people are competitive by their nature. So competitive, they don't even know they're competing.
No,
they don't even know.
I agree. I just feel like this is too convoluted. I'm trying to say that she did not go to him because she knows she had a sixth sense that she shouldn't talk to him because it might involve her in feelings that she doesn't want to have.
Oh, yes, I agree that yes, because she has feelings for him. Yes. Well, I think
Yes.
we're both just saying the same thing. We just said it in different
But
ways.
I don't think she thinks she should have picked him. I don't think she's there.
I don't know. After the conversation, the way she acted, I think she's regretful. I do.
But let's get into that. Let's see. Before we get to that, they're
I mean, there's
basically
really not anything else at this party, y'all. Everybody kind of talks and nothing. They're all kind of
Shake does tell Jarrett she's the number one hype girl, but I feel like I'm with my aunt. So he's
Yeah.
telling all the men that, which is not great.
he is saying that.
But we can talk a little. And Danielle's not there because she's sick. That's going to be important later.
And Nick says that.
Jarrett goes up to Mallory, and immediately this is where I felt this is a violation. He was being way too open with her.
Nick is the one who said you should go up and talk to her. You owe her that.
Yeah, but you don't go up to her and flirt with her.
So I think, again, you just did this whole thing together. So I think he should have said hi to her, but with Iyanna, like them together,
right,
as a couple. I think he said hi to her. They had their thing, and that's it. But also maybe he knows this is a reality show and he wants to make good TV.
But everything he said to her was trying to get her away from her relationship.
Oh, it was everything he said to her was horrible because Jarrett wants to win because he's competitive. And so he really just went in. It was
how
gross.
is that winning? If he's trying to get her, if he's trying to distract her from being in her relationship, I'm confused.
No, I think I totally think if Mallory said, I don't want to be with Sal, I want to be with you, Jarrett would be with her.
He would be. But I'm saying that's not winning. Winning is finishing out with Iyanna.
That's winning to you. I don't know if that's winning to Jarrett because that's the first person he asked who turned him down.
That's shitty.
But I'm saying,
I question all ethics then. But let me just I need to say this because this is not just code, bro code. This is people code to be breaking.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much unredeemable for me after this scene.
I mean, he comes at her hard because they're like, "Hey, how are you?" And Mallory said, "You're just as I imagined. I could see your voice behind the wall.
Right.
I knew exactly what you looked like." And Jarrett said,
"It's fun and but I will say it's fun and flirty." Until Jarrett says...
Well, Jarrett said, I had a dream. Remember the dream? I said,
right.
I dreamt dark, curly hair, and that's exactly what you look like.
Then it's all fun. And then Jarrett says, yo, this is awful. He said, so you're ready to get married?
Well,
what does he think the answer's going to be?
But before that, though, Mallory, I don't think... Okay, Jarrett came hard for Mallory. I don't think Mallory was an angel in this conversation because you got to remember, Mallory said to him, but she brought it up. They were talking about, and after he said, yeah, I dreamt the dark color hair. And she said, I never thought that I was your number one. So if you say, I never thought I was the one for you, if you say that to someone that you now know you were the one, what are you going to get from them? You're going to get validation from them telling you that so it's like she brought that in, and Jarrett said, every time we talked, he said, and he jokingly said, who else gave you a nickname? Like,
I just think that's ridiculous, though. I think
acting like she was an innocent kind of victim.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying,
he went in way harder.
This crossed the line.
Yes.
But to say this, to say, most men who do sports like this won't make me a priority. Those are my relationships. That is fine to say, but to say I would have done that, you're done for me. Well, that is completely. I agree. That's completely.
But think about it, because I wrote all this down for Brandon because I was just like, glued to it. She was like saying, I feel awkward, and Jarrett said, but Sal is a good one. Jarrett says that, and Mallory responds and looks at him right in the eyes, and she said, you guys are both amazing people. She should have said, thank you. I feel
agree.
lucky.
I agree.
So I do feel like she is cracking open this door for him. And that's what the next thing he responded after that was, "Are you ready to get married?"
I just can't.
I think that I think she is someone who is used to like, again, I think it's that I think they both are a lot of the same person. I think they have a lot more in common, and I think they both are competitive, and also I think they both think they both are addicted to drama a little bit.
I just couldn't get over asking. She's like, I knew you wanted a gold ring, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, but none of that is helpful. And if it wouldn't have been for him saying it, none of it would have happened because she wouldn't have said it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And how does Jarrett redeem himself after, because Iyanna's going to see this. How does Jarrett redeem himself with Iyanna if they stay together after they have this conversation?
No, I don't know. Because
if I'm, and this is why at the end we saw Sal being very upset because he saw this conversation happening, and he sees she's like, I know she's not interested.
He's drunk. You can tell Sal is drunk.
Yeah, and also you see Iyanna looking at them too because she knows, and Iyanna hasn't said it, but I guarantee you she's going to.
Oh yeah, you think Iyanna's going to say something to him about it?
Iyanna, you're going to say,
I do. I don't know if she is, because I feel like sometimes she is timid in the way she brings up things to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I hate that for her because I think she's just going to get taken advantage of that.
I just think this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided if, like you said, if they would have only spoken with them with their significant others. But I blame Jarrett for this mostly because he did it without Iyanna.
Yes, because remember too, like, I mean, I just think they both really just shit the bed on this, because the line that made me like, it kind of two things. It kind of gut punched me and made me sad when she said, I'm a guy's girl and that's the kind of guys that I want and
that I normally go for.
They're the guys that she's telling Jarrett this. Those are the guys I go for, but they don't put me a priority. They don't know how to put me as a priority. And Jarrett said, I would have done that for you. That kind of gutted me because I think they both really are connected to each other.
But it's the shittiest possible thing to say.
I know, but then she looked right back at him and said, "You're amazing." And I'm like, I can't help you, but girl.
What else is there to say after that?
Not you're amazing to someone who's not going to be your husband. I think they both acted shitty in this. And
I agree that they both did, but I'm saying he started it. If I needed to say he started it.
I disagree. I think they both, I think he went in hard once she helped open. I think they both opened the door and then he really ran in the door and went hard. But I think they both kind of started it.
How was him going up to her not starting it?
Well,
she stayed away.
She did stay away. So I guess that he went up to her. I do think he should have gone up there with Iyanna, or at least talked about like, hey, Iyanna, I said, so yes. So I guess technically he physically went over and started, but what they said to each other as far as opening Pandora's box when they talked was, I think, on both of them.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree here. What
do y'all think out there, y'all? Regardless, I think one thing we can agree on, it was riveting television to watch.
It was. I just think
my mouth was dropped.
You could not break bro code worse.
Yeah, but remember, she's friends with Iyanna. They spent time together. Like, she's got girl code, and she's flirting with him. Like, I don't know why you're giving her such a pass when she was doing shit too.
No, I totally think she was. I'm saying just the idea of saying those things. I don't think any of it would have ever happened if the door would have been opened.
I don't think she would have gone up to him. No. I don't think that. So, or maybe she would have. I don't know.
There's no way.
That's the episode. Let us know what you think in the comments, either on Patreon or if you can tweet us, Instagram us. Oh, this show is so good. And y'all, I'm telling you now, because we already watched it. Episode 5 is even better. You can go to realitygates.com. That's where you can find everything. Go to our Linktree links. Come see us live. Hey, look, Los Angeles will be at the Regent on February 27th. That will be 2 days after Love is Blind, the finale airs. So if you don't think we're not going to be talking about Love is, sorry, I had a hiccup.
Did you just have a stroke?
I had a hiccup. If you don't think we're not going to be talking about Love is Blind, you mistaken. We're going to be talking about this with the ladies from Dateline. So anything else, Biddle? I think that's it.
That's it.
So, all right, everybody. So we're gonna hope to see you on the next episode. But remember, keep asking yourself that primal question: Is love blind?